Hey, my name is Rowan Smith and I want to welcome you to the Training for Trekking podcast. Now, this is the world's very first podcast which is entirely dedicated to helping you train, prepare and conquer your upcoming hike, trek or mountain adventure. So once a week, I'm going to be giving you quality and practical information on the subjects of physical preparation for trekking, dealing with altitude and nutrition on the trail, so you can know everything you need to be doing to have the best chance of a safe, enjoyable and successful adventure. So now you know what you're in for. Let's get into today's episode. All right, hello guys. Today we are talking about a really simple strategy a hiker can use if you get to the end of your training and you're in your last couple of weeks before a big adventure, and if you are still concerned about the amount of pack weight you have to carry. And I'm going to be talking you through a really simple training strategy you can use in this last couple of weeks of preparation to help you physically and mentally get ready for this. Now, when it comes down to it, in the last couple of weeks before a big, significant hike, which you've been training for, in all honesty, in most situations, you should be done with the majority of your hard training. Now, if you've taken your time with things, if you've given yourself enough time and you're not in a rush, typically this last couple of weeks or last 10 days or whatever it may be is a bit more of a taper period where you sort of take your foot off the accelerator. You stop pushing the training quite as much. You're still doing stuff because you don't want to stop completely, but you're not doing quite as much training, not quite as intense, not heavier weights, not as hard intervals or whatever it may be. You're not doing massively long hikes and you're sort of taking your foot off the accelerator with the intention of just making sure by the time your start date comes around, you're sort of bursting with energy and you're fully recovered, fully ready to go, and you're absolutely ready to smash the trail. But sometimes in these final weeks, things can start worrying you and you may very well feel underprepared. On one side of things, you may have done months and months of preparation and your mind just may be playing tricks on you. Physically, you might be absolutely fine. But mentally, the mind always does creep up and starts worrying you about certain things. On the other side of things, maybe you've rushed your preparation a little bit. Maybe you haven't really had enough time to fit in everything you need. And maybe you are aware that you've sort of short-sold yourself on a few different areas and you're like, well, I'm not 100% sure if I'm ready for this. Now, in this period, the mind absolutely can play tricks with anyone, from the fully prepared to the underprepared. And let me tell you right now, this is totally normal. Everyone stresses out. Everyone freaks out in these periods. Everyone goes through these sections where they're absolutely doubtful about their abilities, and everyone goes through this. It's absolutely normal. And specifically, one of the most common issues that many people start freaking out about or being worried about or sort of concerning themselves about in this period is worrying about their pack weight. And this is fair enough because, a lot of people in their prep, they may not have enough time to sort of build up to their full pack weight in their training hikes. They may not have ever done multiple days of carrying this certain amount of weight on their back, and they haven't had a way of replicating this in their training. And pack weight can be a legitimate concern for a lot of people. And then, it's just something that I hear a lot from people in this final week. So today, basically sharing with you a really simple strategy and what you can do in these final couple of weeks just to make you feel a bit more confident, a bit more prepared physically and mentally for this particular pack weight. So essentially what you want to do and how this all works is really simple. Every single day, on top of whatever other training you are doing during this taper period, you're going to commit yourself to an extra 10 minutes of walking. Now, this is literally just a lap around the neighborhood. If the weather's terrible, this might be walking around the apartment block, or might be walking around your living room, or might be on the treadmill, or whatever it may be. But it's literally 10 minutes. And considering you've already dropped a lot of your training during this time, which I hope you have, 10 minutes, it shouldn't be hard to find. Now, on day one, so this is 2 weeks out, T-minus 14 days. On day one, you're going to do 10 minutes walking around your neighborhood with your full pack weight that you expect on your back. So if you're going out on this hike and you're expecting to carry 15 kilos on your back, you're going to do 10 minutes walking around with that on your back. Now, in all honesty, 10 minutes carrying your full pack weight, it should feel easy. And if it doesn't feel easy, that's not ideal, but it should feel, pretty doable. And you should be able to get through that no problem. Then every single day you do this, you're either going to add a half a kilo to that pack or a single pound, and you're going to do that. And you're going to do this for the next 10 to 12 days. So every single day adding a half kilo or a pound into that pack. And then the last couple of days before your trip, you can do absolutely nothing. You're just going to skip this workout. And what's going to happen here is every single day, you're just going to add a tiny little bit extra weight. So by the end, you're carrying an extra 5 to 6 kilos on top of what you're actually already going to take. Now, admittedly, this is absolutely only 10 minutes. So it's not going to be replicating exactly what you're feeling on the trail. It's not designed to do anything major in regards to changing your physical capabilities. But what it can do is two really, really good things. Number one, mentally, it can get you feeling good and feeling confident that if you've carried an extra 5 kilos in the pack weight you were expecting, it can mentally make you feel really, really good and really, really confident. Physically, it can just give you a little bit of exposure to these heavier weights. And sometimes in the first day or two of hiking, when we've got a full pack, the body can get a few weird spots of soreness, a few weird things it's getting used to. And so getting a body very slightly used to carrying this way heavier pack, it can sometimes alleviate that a little bit more. And it can be really, really great. And the beauty of this as well, even though it's going to help you mainly mentally, a little bit physically, seeing it is only 10 minutes, it's not going to have any drawbacks. It's not going to beat you up. It's not going to tear you up or whatever it may be. As long as you're not packing your pack in an absolutely terrible way, as long as you aren't dealing with sort of some type of, ache or pain and this is flaring up in that situation, use your best judgment there. And if it is uncomfortable, don't do it. But if you are feeling good, and you are worried in these last final weeks, there's simply 10 minutes on top of everything else you're doing. It can be really, really effective. And I definitely recommend you give it a go. So if you do come to this 2-week period, or even if you just feel like finish things off, you are a little bit worried about your pack weight, give this a go. Next 10 to 12 days, 10 minutes, extra half kilo every single day, and it'll serve you pretty well. So I hope anyone in this situation does get some benefit out of that. I hope it settles some nerves. I hope it builds a bit of confidence. I hope it does help you with that. Obviously, there are lots of other things that we do freak out about during these periods, and this won't specifically help others. But if you are worried about your pack weight, hopefully this should help. So I think that's probably about it from me today. Hopefully this will help a few people out there. Hopefully it'll just be another tool in your tool belt to help you in different situations. And it's probably something that's worthwhile giving a go, in these final couple of weeks for anyone carrying a heavy pack. So thank you for listening. Hope you got some value out of it. And we will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.